Luyu, Rex,
Pomray,
Naomi,
Fasciana,
Babbler, Gray Eyes,
fill my eyes.
assemble. When the clock slips past polite, that's when the room starts telling the truth. Monday night in the garden of enlightenment, heads bow low while the room grows intelligent. Every pause got a pulse, every stare got a meaning. Like the dark learned to speak and the wall started leaning. Then it slips after midnight, nice manners go missing. Thoughts get taller, words cut closer, nobody's just listening. Twisted Tuesdays bend the frame till the clean lines skew, where the truth walks in slow, wearing somebody else's shoes. And the words don't sit, they move. Gotta wait in the chest, gotta bend in the groove. Every line like a knock from the back of the brain, like you dragged in one version, you won't leave the same. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown and the soft don't dim. Late night poets, hear the whole thing shift from a whisper in the ribs to a line that lifts from the darkened edge of doubt to the pull you can't ignore. We don't just read the night, we make it something more. Oh, late night poets, something more. Wednesday splits parts in the parts synced on the middle, half grace, half damage, all nerve, and the signal in the art is seduction. Glides in thin-skinned, all silk on the tongue with a knife tucked in it, and not crafting, sullen art, we make it articulate. Through the hush of heart spine, make the whole room sit with it, then break on through when the polished front blurs, when the mask can't hold and the real thing stirs. Fill my eyes with poetry, let it hit full force. No safe little lines, no watered down source. Bad company laughs with its tide pulled loose in rhythm and rhyme, puts a pulse in the bruise. Every name on the bill feels less like a name, more like doors in a hall where the air still changes. You don't come here to fade, play me to stay numb. You come here to hear what you might become. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown and the soft don't dim. Late night poets, hear the whole thing shift from a whisper in the ribs to a line that lifts from the darkened edge of doubt to the pull you can't ignore. We don't just read the night, we make it something more. Some come shattered, some come dressed clean. Some say a little and still split the scene. Some sound velvet, some sound wire. Some walk in quiet and take the room higher. That's the thing, the same background sound. This is breath with the backbone, it with the crown. This is late souls, live mics, eyes held open. A room full of hearts, refusing to coast into silence. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown and the soft don't dim. Late night poets, hear the whole thing shift from a whisper in the ribs to a line that lifts from the darkened edge of doubt to the pull you can't ignore. We don't just read the night, we make it something more. Oh, late night poets. When the clock slips past polite, we tell the truth. LNP. I love you, Quicken.
Hello everyone, welcome to Twisted Tuesdays with the Twisted Sisters. And you never know, maybe a twisted mister or two. I hope everyone's having a great week, and I hope you have an even better week to follow. Hi, Pam.
Hey, Phil, how's it going?
Pretty good. How's it going with you?
Oh, I'd have to say, all in all, pretty good. We I had a nice day today. Got out to run a little bit of errands, then just took it easy, read poetry. As always, looking forward to hanging out with you and other cool poets. And yeah, just really nice. Like wonderful temperatures. It got up to only 74 today, and yeah, just I don't know, just one of those days where nothing exciting really happened, but it was pleasant.
Right. Right. Well, even though you've started the uh, weather reports for today, hi, Naomi. How are you?
Hey, Naomi.
Hello. And my mouth full of cookies.
Really?
Yum.
And it's like it's all stuck. Oh my gracious. My tongue is like stuck to the roof of my mouth.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, going good, going good.
God. Very good. Look, Pam already started. How's the weather today?
No, it was really nice here. It was hot. So I had to do my lawn today. And oh boy, my gracious! By the time I got to the end of my lawn, I took a shower because
I bet.
menopause and heat doesn't go well together. It's like oh my! I
Oh,
was
so
I was red, like I was red as a beet. There, I was red in the face. Not a beet because a beet is dark, but red like an apple. There,
Radish? Like a radish?
yeah, radish. Yeah, radish. That's it. And I was just pouring like, oh my gracious, I was so wet. So anyway, it was yucky.
Yeah, it was
So
pretty,
I went straight
pretty
to the
warm.
shower and yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty warm here, but thank God we didn't have the humidity. Um, that helps, you know. That definitely helps. Oh, you know, I can deal with that. So yes. Uh, and hello to JoJo and Yogi. Hope everybody's doing okay. What was your weather, my neighbor, my pal? Uh, and JoJo, what was your weather? Maybe. That's okay. We'll dock your pay for that, Yogi, for being late. Who's not feeling well? I'll miss some time. But anyway, um, I assume Yumpy's weather is a little better than mine. Yeah, 80 degrees. I love it. Okay, Pam. It's 85 in Connecticut today. Not bad. Not bad at all. It sounds like everybody had a nice day of weather. And yeah, well, Pam said she'd be right back, so I guess she'll be right back. Hi. So anyway, um, yes, I'm glad you could join us tonight, Aaron. That's always
yeah, good to
nice.
be here. Yeah, we're just relaxing. So I hope the wind comes up or something, or a little breeze, or
Right.
have the windows open. So come on, breeze, come on, Ann.
Just talk to me later. I got this really great fan. Um, I'll tell you where I got it from and everything afterwards. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like it.
Oh,
Oh.
there's Pam. Pam's back.
Hmm.
Moo Moo.
Hi, Pam.
Hello.
What's happening? Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Again, I don't think you can hear me.
I can hear you now. Maybe I couldn't hear you before, but now I can.
Gotcha.
All right.
So tell us all about the show tonight.
All right. Well, first of all, we do have some carryovers from last week's twist.
Can't hear you now.
And then after that, we will be getting into poetry inspired by the artist Paul Fried. And I will admit, I am not 100% sure if I'm pronouncing that right. He is a Hungarian, or was a Hungarian artist. And I tried looking up a video on pronouncing that particular name and could not find any. So that is my best guess. He was born June 16th, 1893 in Budapest, Hungary. He died March 6, 1976 at age 82 in New York City. His education included Académie Hongroise des Arts Budapest, Académie Julian Paris, and he's known for his nudes, portraits, landscapes, genre scenes, and his style is often was portraiture and Orientalist themes. He was actually an artist I originally bookmarked as potential for the prompts for the art of seduction, and I still might do that. But I started to realize that to me, he has a lot of beautiful artwork that, you know, isn't just about the sensuality. Although I will admit that in a lot of his artwork, even when it's not overtly sensual, there's still kind of a sensuality to it, which I think is honestly part of the appeal of his artwork. Um, he he actually was a pupil of Claude Monet and Lucien Simon. He spent time in Paris and was greatly influenced by the French Impressionists, including especially Pierre Auguste Renoir and Edgar Degas. He emigrated to the United States in 1946 after World War II, where he taught at the New York Academy of Art. He prepared portraits of American celebrities such as Marilyn Monroe, though his work in portraiture, through his work in portraiture, he gained considerable financial success. He mainly worked in oils and paintings and experimented with light and movement. His his subject matters were primarily female, though he also did cowboys and landscapes of the American West. And he signed his portrait in the usual Hungarian manner. At least this is what I read, is that to put the surname first. So if you see a painting of his and instead of it saying Paul Fried, it'll say Fried Paul. And I just find his artwork very captivating. One of the things he would do is he actually would paint the same subject, the same person in the same scene over and over again, but he would choose to put a slightly different expression on their face, or put a slightly use a slightly different color scheme, which actually kind of makes sense since he learned from Claude Monet, because Monet was actually very famous for painting the same scenes over and over again, but at different times of days. So there would be different lights and different shadows. So we did get some absolutely amazing responses. I am definitely looking forward to tonight's poetry, and who knows, maybe a future Art of Seduction. We might be seeing more of this artist because he definitely has plenty out there to offer for more than one show. So, and yeah, so there's that information.
Right. Very good. Very good. Um, First thing, I sent you a message in the speakeasy. And
Okay.
anyhow, I guess well, that was a good bit of information on the artist for tonight. We have a couple of carryovers, which is always nice to accommodate. And yeah,
Yes.
so let's see. I guess we should start the party. Entirely up to you. I mean, unless you have something else you
Yes,
need.
let's go for it.
Okay. Well, Pam, I'm going to come to you first. And this poem is called Hustle and Bustle by Monty G.25. And whenever you are ready.
All right. Oh, gotta refresh my page. And here we go. Look out. I'm in a big hurry. Got to get somewhere in a flurry. Come on, get out of my way. I don't have time. So much traffic, it's becoming simply sublime. Why the bloody hell are you on the street anyway? You're just another menace on our congested roads today. Besides, my shopping spree is way more important than yours. Get a move on. I need to get there before they close their bloody doors. Bugger. Another jam to add to my misery. It looks like my shot at the bargains is history. Shit, I hate it when others drive like they're asleep. Maybe if I give them a gentle nudge or perhaps a little beep. I hate this bloody city space. Every shopping gig is more like a crazy race. Where are my pills? I need to swallow some downers. Toot toot, get out of my way, you dumb frowners. I gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing I ever do, there's gotta be a better life. Yeah, a better life, if only that was true. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Bum wee, you're all city animals. End poem.
Great read, Pam.
And thank you. And Naomi, your thoughts?
Ah, my gracious! It's like it's the 24th, right before the doors close.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did shop one year way back on the 24th, and never again. Oh my gracious! It's crazy. It's crazy, but yeah, I really liked the way that really hustle and bustle. It says it there in the title, and all the way through. He just drives that sense into you there of people, hustling and bustling around these big stores. I can't stop myself from thinking that. So I'd like to see what you guys think. Is it a thing of the past, or you know? uh,
You know, it. I guess there's ups and downs to it.
mhm,
Sometimes you really want to have a first-hand look at what you're buying. So
yeah.
in that respect, it's going to be a slow process. But I think that it offers people an opportunity. That's for sure. That is for sure. Uh,
Hmm.
it's a way of the world for groceries these days. I can tell you that. Other things I don't know, but it's worth
Yeah.
wondering. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
And that is so true. Personally, I wouldn't mind if it was a thing of the past. Not that I want us to do all our socializing online, but crowds and angry drivers, all that shopping, like you were saying, Naomi, the stress, and I've done this a couple times before, and it just does not work well. Of shopping the night before Christmas
Mm-hmm.
is, oh my gosh, yeah. I'm all for doing as much shopping as possible online, but I wouldn't want it to be something like I wouldn't want to see us taking away opportunities to socialize with each other in person as much as possible. So, hopefully it's not completely a thing of the past, but or I mean, so
And then he was into, I got to get out of this place. And of course, music came right into my mind. I wanted to like sing that line. If it's the last thing I ever do, there's got to be a better life. I was kind of I was trying real hard to get out of that song, um, that he had kind of planted in my ear. But yeah, better life, if only that was true. So anyway, nice job, Monty. It was a lot of fun. So good job.
absolutely. Great comment. Yeah, I thought he also, like you were saying, I agree that he connected very well with the artwork and the idea that it does look in the artwork as if things are moving fast because it's blurred, especially along the street and where the car lights would be. I really thought he created a high energy atmospheric piece that shows, with his use of voice, the frustration of having to deal with heavy traffic and people who are trying to get absolutely nowhere in a big hurry. So excellent, right, and very well done by Monty G.
Nice. Okay. Well, Naomi, I'm going to come to you for this next piece. This is called The Last Shell by Ann Dever. And whenever you're ready.
Okay, just trying to get there. Oops, I'm on your page right now. I don't know how I got there. Oh, okay, there I have it. The last shell and Dever. Okay, she loosened her fingers, and the ashes slipped into the tide. The sea accepted them without a question, folding them into its arms. Her tears followed, impossible to separate from the salt already there. For one aching moment, the waves looked like an invitation. One more step, she thought, and grief would stop asking her to breathe. Then laughter drifted behind her. Small footsteps pressed into the wet sand, tiny hands gathering shells as if the world had never broken. She knelt and held her close, feeling a heartbeat that still needed hers. Together they traced their initials into the sand, three names beneath the fading sky. The waves came closer, washing away the inscribed. She watched. She watched the letters disappear. Maybe it was time to let go. Then a small shell touched her daughter's feet. The little hands picked it up, placed it in hers. For a moment she forgot the weight of the sea. She looked back once more, searching for a piece of him in the blue amnesia, but the tide only whispered goodbye. She turned away from the sea, held her daughter's hand, and pressed a kiss on her forehead. A tear fell, and they walked home. End poem.
Wonderful read, Naomi.
Being, and I do think it's the husband or the daughter's father. That's what I thought anyway. That's what I'm thinking because they're going home, her and the daughter, alone. Yeah, a very moving piece. You know, three names beneath the fading sky. The waves came closer, washing away the inscribed. She watched. She watched the letters disappear. Maybe it was time to let go. Yeah, very well written. I liked the way it was. It was, separated on the page, and yeah, very captivating piece. I have to say that. It really had me from the beginning to the end, and yeah, very very well written. And I enjoyed it very much.
Oh, absolutely. Great comment. Yeah, I thought this was beautifully written. It had these strong emotive lines. It is one of those writes where you can see the inspiration taken from the artwork, and yet it's also stands well on its own. I had gotten the same impression that the idea of letting the ashes go of perhaps it's not, it does feel like it's like letting go of the father, like you were saying, Naomi, but I think it could work towards the idea of letting go of any loved one, even a grandparent and a parent. But this just has these really beautiful lines throughout. And I do like how it shows the process of letting go, of saying goodbye, and then going back home together, knowing that that you're going to have grief, you're going to have sadness, and yet life does carry on. So just absolutely an amazing write by Anne Dever, and very well done. And Jean, back to you.
Okie dokie. This next piece that I'm going to put up is called Today I Walk Through Autumn Leaves by Teresa S. And let me give this a read. Today I walk through autumn trees as the trees drop down their golden leaves. Down, down they pour this autumn waterfall in all her beauty. They touch my cheeks as they drop down, resting on my eyes and in my hair, saying, "Here is Mother Earth's gift to you, my beautiful, beautiful Tess. You are one at last with your Mother Autumn. So take my hand and let us dance together as the leaves fall and rest in your reddened hair. Let the poet and her mother dance as we kick the leaves up to the reddened moon above, to rest there a while, only a moment in time, giving birth to a memory that will last for eons and eons, as Mother Autumn melts and molds into one being with Tess, the poet of the moonlight dance, as they dance on their way to the bleeding moon, to rest a while there, as they wait for the sun to rise, as they gently wait there for the sun to rise from her sleep." End poem.
Great read there, Jean.
Years later, it's not the great big things. It's sometimes just those little moments that you have with your mother, with your father there, and yeah, you create memories for a lifetime. So very well done, Teresa. Beautiful, beautiful, right?
Oh, absolutely. Great comment. And Jean, your thoughts.
Yeah, I thought this was a lovely piece, penned. I thought it had a lot of nice imagery in it, and I really enjoyed it. And I picked it up again right from the top. I don't know, must be that kind of a night. Today I walked through autumn trees as the trees drop down their golden leaves. Down, down they pour this autumn waterfall in all her beauty. They touch my cheeks as they drop down, resting on my eyes and in my hair, saying, "Here is Mother Earth's gift to you, my beautiful, beautiful Tess. You are one at last with your Mother Autumn." I thought they were nice lines. There were so many throughout, and I thought it was clever. I like how she repeated. There was a few of these lines. As the trees drop down their golden leaves, down, down they pour. And then there's another one here. Maybe there's not. Um, there was a couple spots in here that I noticed. She started a sentence and then she picked it back up and repeated part of it. And I liked how that came out in this piece. So very well done, Teresa S. And thanks for sharing with us. Nice job.
Absolutely. Absolutely great comment. Yeah, I too thought this had nice use of repetition and wonderful imagery. I thought it had, just great use of personification. Like I felt like that it personified um, Autumn as a maternal figure. And I always have an appreciation for autumn poetry because it's so oftentimes brings forth some of the most beautiful use of color. I felt within this there was a strong connection between the poet and the beauty of autumn, which is a time that can oftentimes uplift and refresh the spirit. Um, but I thought there were great lines throughout. But I especially like as we kick the leaves up to the reddened moon above to rest there a while, only a moment in time, giving birth to a memory that will last for eons and eons, as Mother Autumn melts and molds into one being with Tess, the poet of the moonlight dance. Wonderful lines and very well done.
Nice. Nice. Okay, Naomi, I have your piece coming up next. And this is called Smudge by Naomi Sarah. So, whenever you are ready.
Okay. Smudge. He stands where the brush pressed hardest, a black thumbprint on the field's green page, the one dark mark among 1,000 strokes of light. Around him, the hillside goes on without asking his permission. The trees keep their old arguments with wind. The rooftops rust the way they always have. The grass forgets him before he leaves. He is only passing through the frame, a smear where the painter's hand slowed down, proof that something stood here once and looked and did not stay. Everything else in this field is patient. Only he is temporary. A thumbprint on a window pane that someone will wipe clean by morning while the glass goes on being glass. End poem.
Wonderful read and write, Naomi. This is such a great take on the chosen prompt. I'm very glad you were inspired. And Jean, your thoughts.
Yeah, I thought that this was a great take on the prompt, Naomi. I have to say, I was drawn to the second and third stanza. Around him, the hillside goes on without asking his permission. The trees keep their old arguments with wind. The rooftops rust the way they always have. The grass forgets him before he leaves. He's only passing through the frame, a smear where the painter's hand slowed it down, proof that something stood here once and looked and did not stay. Somehow, and I don't know how you did it, it works. It works. You talk about the smear where the painter's hand slowed down, yet you see an image, but it fits somehow. You know, talk about the rooftops rust. Well, I don't see any rooftops, but it works. The whole thing works, and I find that to be excellent. Really. So well done and nicely written pieces on the prompt. So great work.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Great comment, Jean. Yeah, I thought this was such wonderful inspiration um, taken from the artwork. And it's I can definitely see like the idea of him being that inked thumbprint against all the different colors, because it is interesting how you can't really make out anything about the figure other than the fact that he's wearing black, and it appears that it's windy because his coat seems to be like blowing up in the air a little bit. And but I like how in this poem you speak on the idea of the temporary nature of life. and how this is only a moment in time for us. And it offers up this powerful reminder that once we are gone, nature will continue to carry on. And, I thought there were such captivating lines throughout. But I have to say, I did especially like everything else in this field is patient, only he is temporary. A thumbprint on a window pane that someone will wipe clean by morning while the glass goes on being glass. Wonderful lines and very well done. And Naomi, did you want to say anything about your right?
Yes, you kind of said it all there. I did catch a village there behind the trees on the hillside. I don't know if I was right there, but like red roofs there. So that's where I got the
Oh yeah,
roofs
look at
from.
that.
And then like something like a church there, the beginning of the church, and then the village going down, flowing down the hill. So that's why I had the rooftops in there. But yeah, exactly. I didn't want to. I was looking for an angle that was kind of unique on the painting, and that the figure, it looked like a smudge. It looked, if you look at it small, when it's small, the painting, especially, it could be like just a smudge. So, yeah, I was looking for that temporary, exactly what you said, Pam. That everything, we're only temporary in this world. We're only passing through. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said there. Very cool. All right. And back to you.
Okay, Pam, I'm coming back to you. This piece is called I
It's like a game
Caramba.
of ping pong.
Yep. This is called I Caramba by Monty G. .25. So whenever you are ready.
All right. Refreshing. And we are now going into poetry inspired by Paul Freed. And it goes like this. Who says flamenco is for men only? Says which man out of sheer stupidity? Women play as well as any man would. Don't disregard that which your ears see. Know now that we have the pure passion. Know your heart sees what your mind must, to then defy what you don't want to really be. Play me a tune and hear what can't be denied. With your ears you shall hear I am not without passion and fire coming from a heart with truth and a mind that will melt you with a true story told. Fire and brimstone flow not from our veins, if where, or is it only a deceased mind which would refuse to hear it? A truth that will shred every man's heart and their will, desire that can never dequelled, and must surely not, to such being so impossible for a man to truly bear, believe what he hears and nothing less than that. Such bigotry must succumb to sheer truth there, to accept that which undeniably always is, be it in our body or a mind that says no. Real passion does exist in our soul. Always our hearts hold it within. End poem. And Naomi, your thoughts.
All through it, I've been trying to make up who only says stupidity, woman would, don't see. To see if there was a second poem inside of the first one, because he does say, I have attempted to post two messages within this poem, one at the beginning of each line and one at the end. Okay, so who
Yes,
says
yes.
women don't know how to play with passion and fire or a desire to believe such to be real? Okay, and then only stupidity would be. Oh, okay, I get it now.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Isn't that clever?
Yeah, it is clever. It's so cool. Wow, bravo, Mountie G. And yeah, I like this, a great message, powerful message shared too. And, and yeah, passion, for everybody, not, uh, the not one sex more than the other, I guess. And yeah, so great message shared. And I love the it's actually like three poems when you look at it,
Yeah,
eh?
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly, which I think adds really well to the depth and the layer of the piece. So great comment, Naomi. And Jean, your thoughts.
Well, I thought this was an excellent write by Monty. Great imagery throughout, but I loved the left and right side notes. I thought that was very well done and a very clever job. So I want to say thank you, Monty, for sharing with us. I would quote something, but I'd be reading the left and right side. So, who says women don't know how to play with passion and fire or a desire to believe such to be real always? Only stupidity would see passion must be denied with that truth told, where it will not bear that there is no soul within. I thought that was really clever and nicely done. So thank you, Monty, for sharing with us.
Absolutely. Great comment. Yeah, I like that he got inspiration from the artwork of the painting of the woman with the guitar. Yeah, I like that he says in his AN, if it has a guitar in the prompt, I'm a sucker for it. I have attempted to post two messages within this poem, one at the beginning of each line and one at the end. And I think that is just absolutely clever. This has some nice flow to it, wonderful imagery. And I just really enjoy and appreciate this tribute to the passion and talent that so many women put into music. So excellent, right? And very well done by Monty G. And Jean, back to you.
Okay. Now, Naomi, I'm coming to you just so I can get us back in the right order. This piece is called Color Before Gray, Undo by Achromatic. So whenever you are ready.
Okay. All this refreshing is getting me go. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's you're just driving me nuts. Okay, achromatic, color before gray. Normal day, normal mind, speaking to a tinge of gray. Wonderful moments, wondrous mom. A serial killer eyes watches to kill happiness in real time. Your lovely life, your lovely family, how nice. I put fingers within my mouth and fire away every night. Blackness bleeding into gray, your color keeps me awake. Tell me stories, keep me alive. Your voice suffocates all worries, love. I'll nod in time, mimic your euphoria and my full own. Are you happy? That's just great. Everything's just fine. Color is bleeding from my leaking mind. I'm just fine. I'm just fine. I'm just. Oh, are you still speaking, my dear? I'm so sorry. Yes, you have great taste in dress. And that makeup you smear surely isn't just a mess. This new downtown is worth all that coin to shine. I just feel like I want to die. And oh,
Mm.
Great read there, Naomi. And Jean, your thoughts.
Well, I think that this was a good piece and an intriguing take on the prompt. I'm not exactly sure why I say intriguing, but normal day, normal mind, speaking to a tinge of gray. Wonderful moments, wondrous mom. A serial killer eyes watches to kill happiness in real time. It's definitely about what it comes off to me is it comes about this girl is depressed and sad, and all she wants is her mother to kind of snuff out those feelings by talking to her. Um, to because you know only, words would be enough to suppress the thoughts, I believe. But as she goes on, oh, are you still speaking, my dear? I'm so sorry. Yes, you have a great taste in dress. Apparently, she wasn't listening to a darn thing that was being said, or wasn't present in the conversation. And, it goes back to the younger one saying, I just feel like I want to die. Because she finds that even that wasn't honest, or a sincere interaction between the two of them. But nicely done, and thank you for sharing with us, Achromatic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment, Jean. And Naomi, your thoughts.
Yeah, I keep looking at the painting, and I keep looking at the trying to read the words because there's words in here,
Right?
that and I
I
keep,
was doing the
what?
same thing.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what is there any words like that could have, may, done this, you know, um, oh, good grief! I'm looking for my words. That could have, that so that this poet went this in this direction. Is there any words there that? But I don't see any. But then she says in her an that the girl looks like she's putting something gray towards her mouth, which I think is just like a fork or something. But
That was my
but
thought, Naomi. I didn't even question it. I was just like, okay, it's a fork. She's putting a fork.
yeah, when you look at the face, maybe the half. You could see a little bit of somebody that's not quite all there, or involved in the conversation, maybe, but then she's sideways, like her face is sideways, so. But yeah, it's interesting, where inspiration can come from all kinds of places. Yeah, it's really interesting. So yeah, it's cool.
It is, absolutely. And it is great comment, Naomi. It is interesting how um, inspiration can be taken from, different places. And this definitely creates an atmosphere of tension. And I can kind of see where he got it from their facial expressions. Like the one girl that's putting the fork to her mouth does look kind of intense, kind of depressed. And the other one kind of just has this smile. It's almost like they're not even having the same conversation. And I'm just like you. I'm keep looking at the words, and to be honest, and I'm just guessing here, I wouldn't be surprised if the words were in Hungarian, just because that
Mm,
was his first language.
mhm.
Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I have to admit I've not seen a lot of Hungarian, so and it's difficult to tell. But I thought this, like, it kept building up in intensity. It was very visceral. It was an emotive response to the artwork, on the idea of what it feels like to just want to be heard, and realizing that you and this person are occupying the same space, and you're technically having a conversation, but it's getting nowhere. So just a wonderful write by Achromatic and very well done.
Right. Okay. Well, that brings me to the next piece, which is My Baby, My Lynn by Cedar Chapman. And I have an audio for this one. So let me go and hit the button. And wherever that button might be, here it is.
My Baby, My Lynn by Cedar Chapman. You are baby. You are Lynn. The burning warmth that lives inside my whiskey glass. There is no bottom because I cannot be filled. I see only the turnstile of faces of everyone who came before me. The rust of sin bores a hole through my iron heart. Am I worthy? Do you even know my name? I keep waiting by the door of the red lamp room. Knock, knock. Who's there? Emptiness. The tinnitus of a popcorn ceiling under a sleepless sky. A crumpled blanket beneath my naked legs, while the moon inhales my fermented breath. Dawn is my savior, because the sun is my lie. Let it shine bright, so I can pretend to survive another day without you. My baby, my Lynn.
Thank you for the SoundCloud, Cedar. It is very much appreciated. Just a reminder, everyone, if you're unable to call in, the next best thing is to make a recording of your poem, which so that we can hear your poetry in your voice or how you would like it to be presented. Cedar actually went and looked at the artwork of Paul Freed, which is something I very much appreciate. He chose a piece of his artwork that wasn't in the contest, which is absolutely fine, because pretty much any time I'm featuring a specific artist or author, you're welcome to go look at their full collection of work and find something that inspires you. The only time I don't allow that is if I'm running a contest, which is very rarely, that only has one prompt, because that's the prompt I want you to focus on. And I think the artwork, the painting that Cedar chose to write to, was an absolutely wonderful example of sensuality used in Paul Freed's work. And Naomi, your thoughts?
Oh, my gracious. Well, it's Cedar, eh? So,
Oh yeah,
wow.
he's very
Yeah.
talented.
My gracious. You know, uh, he starts out, you are baby. You are Lynn. And just softly there, but then the burning warmth that lives inside my whiskey glass. Yeah, my gracious, right there, what a line. And then there's no bottom because I cannot be filled. That loneliness comes in there. I see the turnstiles of faces of everyone who came before me. The rust of sin bores a hole through my iron heart. Am I worthy? Do you even know my name? I keep waiting by the door of the red lamp room. Just captures that kind of waiting and longing, and that kind of a bit of sensuality in there. Well, quite a bit. And then, but my gracious, the tinnitus of a popcorn ceiling under a sleepless sky. And then that last stanza of the first part, the crumpled blanket beneath my naked legs while the moon inhales my fermented breath. Uh, just absolutely gorgeous writing all the way through, Cedar. And yeah, beautiful job on this one for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Great comment, Naomi. And Jean, your thoughts? Are you on mute, Jean?
I was.
All right.
Naomi took all my thoughts. Because honest to God, I was going to take the whole top section of this. I thought it was an excellent piece and a great take on the chosen prompt. Um, it was an excellent draw on a love possibly not recognized, not um, returned, and the loneliness that caused. And I did pick it up there. There is the burning warmth that lives inside my whiskey glass. There is no bottom because I cannot be filled. Basically, without that other person, you just feel empty. The turnstiles, the faces, everyone who came before me. The rust of sin bores a hole through my iron heart. As strong as I am or want to be, this just kind of tears me apart in a way. Am I worthy? Do you even know my name? That's where it all comes to light there. Do you even know who I am? And then when it says knock knock, who's there? And it says emptiness. Like, yeah, it's sad. It's a sad piece, but it's so well written, and I really enjoyed what Cedar did here. So Cedar, great piece as always. Really enjoyed it. Uh, I think that you hit on something that I'm not so sure. I would never have been able to pull that off of an image like that. Um, and I thought it was very well done. So great thinking, man. Great thinking. Hmm.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment. Yeah, I thought this was a strong write. It has a nice balanced combination of sensuality and edginess, wonderful imagery and metaphors, great inspiration taking. I like how he separates it in parts, and especially how the end part, where it starts with "Dawn is my savior because the sun is my lie." The idea of the morning after. But I thought there are great lines throughout. But I especially like "Knock Knock, Who's There?" Emptiness, the tendonitis of a popcorn ceiling under a sleepless sky, a crumpled blanket beneath my naked legs while the moon inhales my fermented breath. Just an excellent write on facing the oftentimes ugly revelations of self in those quiet moments. So excellent write and very well done by Cedar.
Hmm. Absolutely. Okay, this next piece that I'm going to put up is called, well, I don't know what it's called yet. I'm getting there now. Left Unspoken by Macris. And here we go. My face has learned the language of the game. Eyes betrayed what lips refused to name, to guard the words I never dared confess, and bear the scar from wounds I can't address. The softest laughter will not reach my eyes, a borrowed joy I never claimed as mine. Behind my gaze, a room without a key, where none can see the softest parts of me. My childhood learned that every gift had cost, and gentle hands concealed the deepest loss. Not every smile was safe to trust or know. Some stole the faith a child was taught to show. Searching for amnesia in silent nights, escaping echoes under broken lights. to chase oblivion in a lover's kiss, drowning in my thoughts, trying to dismiss. Each shifting glance left ink that does not fade, a ledger filled with choices that I made. The names I buried still remain inscribed between the lines where every silence died. Who'd read the pages hidden in my stare and see the weight I've carried everywhere? My eyes were never taught to craft the craft of lies. They only learned the stories silence writes. My eyes now judge the motive in each face, pronouncing every kindness out of place, searching for cracks beneath the brightest smile, expecting warmth to turn itself hostile. My eyes found blades where none were meant to be, even hands reaching out to steady me, knowing the sound of every single door, certain each footstep meant one leaving more. My eyes revised the stories that they knew, leaving out every kindness proving true. They bolded each hurt in a darker print, excluding every mercy from the script. Eyes still swearing that it's the truth they know, while memory keeps rewriting what they show. I can still trace the scars from every storm, yet I can't tell the truth from what trauma formed. End poem.
Wonderful read there, Jean, and what an amazing write by Macris. And your thoughts, Naomi?
Yeah, a deep, profound write on, the of a traumatized childhood. Yeah, it's really profound. Searching for amnesia in silent nights, escaping echoes under broken lights, chase oblivion in a lover's kiss, drowning in my thoughts, trying to dismiss. Each shifting glance left ink that does not fade, a ledger filled with choices that I made, the names I buried still remain inscribed between the lines where every silence died. It's hard. I find, that it's hard to write something that's so emotive in a rhyming way, and she does it. She succeeds here, where I wouldn't have. Oh my gracious, uh, to put so much emotion into a poem that rhymes is quite an ordeal in itself. It's quite she did it really really well, and so I applaud her for that. But yeah, deep, profound, and a very captivating, right? And yeah, well written. So bravo. A new name for me, Macris.
Oh yes, yes. She's been. I'm glad you've discovered her name and got to hear one of her poems. She's been for quite a while. Been writing recently, writing for a lot of the shows. So I highly recommend. Definitely, if you get a chance to check out more of her poetry.
Mm.
And Jean, your thoughts?
Well, as much as I would love to throw you under the bus, I will not. I thought this was an intriguing take on the chosen prompt, spoken from the lips of a survivor and living life with those memories buried. To the best of the ability, is what I will say there. Um, my eyes found blades where none were meant to be, even hands reaching out to steady me, knowing the sound of every single door, certain each footstep meant one leaving more. My eyes revised the stories that they knew, leaving out every kindness proving true. They bolded each hurt in a darker print, excluding every mercy from the script. You know, although those memories are buried, there's still a suspicion that lingers. There's a lack of trust. People are trying to be nice to you, and you're still skeptical of their intent. It still surfaces, and it's still um, it has its hold on you. Its effects um, haven't gone away. They may be just tucked away, but they still come to play in the everyday life. Um, so I have to say that I think Macros did a great job with this. I when I looked at the prompt and I'm like, wait a minute, but um, you know, just because someone wears a smile on their face doesn't mean that you're not falling apart inside. So that's what I'll say on that. So excellent job,
Yes.
and thanks for sharing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great comment. Yes, it's interesting how, like, I know if I had written to this prompt, I definitely would not have taken it in the same direction. But I think that's the interesting thing about poetry inspired by artwork is how people can see different things and to have different interpretations.
Right.
And like you were saying, Jean, um, sometimes there's more beneath the smile. I thought this had really strong emotive lines, wonderful imagery and metaphors. It is a powerful write on looking back at a childhood where one endured neglect, abuse, and it's so difficult to for survivors to look back and think about the pain they went through, and think about a time that impacted a person so much that the physical and emotional scars, are carried forward in with the trauma that they bear. So excellent, right, and very well done.
Nice. Okay. Well, that will bring me to the next piece. So, Pam, this is going to take me to you. And this is called Healthy Food for Thought by Jenny the Deep.
All right. Liver area still hurts, doctor still clueless, starting to feel like they are useless. Now they are running more blood tests, then dye contrasting, CT scan, no time to rest. Liver normal, just fat. Pancreas normal, just fat. They say lose more weight, just fat. But joke's on them, I have lost weight, so it can't be just fat. Checking my iron is next in line. Can this be the last test this time? Nope, guess not, because tests just reveal that is fine. So, sure, why not? With you, I'll dine. And poem. And your thoughts, Jean?
I thought this was a well done piece and a clever piece on the realities of life. Because, she says down here in her author's notes, this poem is deeply personal and entirely true. Capturing, wow, let me try it a third time. Capturing the frustrating reality of medical dismissal and endless testing. And also pairs with the artwork, as if venting raw frustration to the close friend across the table over pancakes, sharing heavy news and anger over a situation neither of us can easily control. So I think it was well done, and speedy recovery there, Jenny. Nice job.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great comment. And Naomi, your thoughts?
Yeah, yeah, there is. She does talk about the testing and testing, and also she has just fat in there, just fat, and it's like if you have this extra weight, oh, that's the problem right away. Oh yeah, that's the problem. Or if you smoke, well, that's the problem. That's the problem. It's as if, well, here anyway, the doctors, they don't look much beyond that. Well, certain doctors, and it's just concentrated on those two things. If you have one of those two things, oh my gracious, that's the problem right there. Um, but yeah, I like how she took something very relatable in everyday life, and she just wrote it down, and got us to be aware of the situation and think on the reality of the situation, and the reality of what's going on. And and I love her title, Healthy Food for Thought. So yeah, great job, Jenny.
Absolutely. Great comment, Naomi. Yeah, I did like the raw reality of this. I think many people would find this relatable, and it can be very frustrating, when you keep getting like then they're focusing on one particular aspect, whether it's weight or sometimes even age. Sometimes you'll get told that something's normal just because of age. And then there is the reality that yes, being overweight does contribute to some health issues. And yes, age does come with your body falling apart. But there's that frustration of, well, there's got to be other answers. And not being able to find those answers. And I like how she connected it with the artwork, with the idea of just having a conversation with a friend. So excellent write by Jenny the Deep, and very well done.
Great. Okay, now Naomi, I'm coming back to you. And this piece is called Rope Story by Miriam Kilmer. So whenever you are ready. You're on mute, Naomi.
I'm on mute. I've been talking to myself all this time. Oh my gracious. Okay. Complaining about, everything. Okay. But I got it now. I'm there. I refreshed and it finally worked. Okay, so Miriam Kilmer Rope Story. I contemplate the powder blue sky, the awkward angles of the horse's legs, and can't help making a story of the scene, wondering why the cowboy set his rope after that particular fleeing cow. Is she a heifer about to calve, needing a hand with a difficult birth? Is he a young bull running away from the threat of a castration? Is it simply a stray that needs reminding it might fare better in the herd? Is this a day? Is this a day this particular head of cattle is fated to meet the knacker's man? The lariat whips the sky, a floppy circle of intent. The man's red shirt, long blue pants, appropriate hat, and traditional boots all speak with his tense posture of inevitable success. The gangly horse breathes speed, his long tail sailing out behind him, painting the wind. His rhythmic hooves pound the dusty plain. Are they gonna get that cow? I know it. Oh my gosh, for cattle's sake, I hope their purpose is benign. End poem.
Great read, Naomi. And Dean, your thoughts.
I thought this was a good take on the prompt by Miriam. I like her different questions as is it this reason or is it that reason? Um, but I picked it up here. Is it simply a stray that needs reminding it might fare better in the herd? Is this a day this particular head of cattle is fated to meet the knacker's man? The lariat whips the sky, a floppy circle of intent. The man's red shirt, long blue pants, appropriate hat, and traditional boots all speak with his tense posture of inevitable success. Um, I thought that it was well done. I think she captured most everything in the image, except for the reason why. And she had ideas on that. So I thought that was well done. Clever piece, Miriam, and thanks for sharing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I too really enjoyed the questions asked. Great comment, Jean. And Naomi, your thoughts.
Yeah, when I was reading the whole thing, I was just imagining Miriam sitting there and looking at the art piece and then just asking herself, going through the process, right? Just going through the process, like, okay, what's going on here? What's this, is this happening? Is this happening? Yeah, I could just picture her there. But yeah, I really like, especially, the gangly horse, breeze speed, his long tail sailing out behind him, painting the wind. His rhythmic hooves pound the dusty plain. They're going to get that cow, I know it. Oh my gosh, for cattle's
Right?
sake, I hope their purpose is benign. And I hope they're not going to eat it. I hope they're not going to kill and eat the thing. So yeah, it's just I really enjoyed it. Very, very well done, Miriam.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment, Naomi. Yeah, I thought this was wonderful in the way that she asks those questions, and I feel like she brings us along with her in her journey of thoughts. Like we begin to ask the same questions and wonder the same things. She has made some great observations. She makes an emotional connection with the artwork, and really keeps us captivated and entertained. So excellent, right, and very well done.
Absolutely. Okay, well, the next piece I'm going to put up is called Two Mexican Senoritas by Julie Buck. And it goes like this. Two Mexican senoritas gussied up for the church dance, desperate looks in their eyes, another slim chance for romance. And possible marriage, Papa says. No old maids, please. Find a man, he says, even if you have to tease. Lock one down, husbands you two need. Move on. I want grandkids. Show some shoulder. Plead, plead. If we don't if we both don't stop looking so anxious and alert, no one will ask us to samba. Wait, let me lift up my skirt. A gringo dude approaches. Good evening, ladies, I declared. I declare. You follow me outside by the wall. I double dare. Sylvia took that dare and 9. Oh, Sylvia took that dare, and 9 months later, her papa had a grandson. He was he proud? No, he was ashamed. He was shamed, and Sylvia, still with no mate, none. End poem.
Great read, Jean. And your thoughts, Naomi.
Oh, wow. Captivating for sure. My gracious, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. I was really hanging on to each word, to see where this was going. And yeah, poor Sylvia. Yeah. No, no man, okay, but a son. And yes, Papa, not too proud. But yeah, I think he did a wonderful job of taking the artwork and making a story out of it. Yeah, really well done, and I like the dialogue. Even if you two have to tease, show some shoulder, plead, plead. I like the conversation, in throughout the piece. Very well done, Julie.
Oh, I have to agree. Great comment, Naomi. And your thoughts, Jean.
I thought it was a good take on the prompt. I thought there was a nice touch of humor, funny not funny kind, and a clever job with coming up with the story that goes with that. Desperate looks in her eyes. Possible. Papa says, no old maids, please. Find a man, he says, even if you have to tease. Lock one down, husbands you two need. Move on, I want grandkids. Show some shoulder, please, please. Papa's asking for it. Show some shoulder. Do this. Find a man. Well, Sylvia did just that. She found a man.
Y-
Um,
Yeah,
so, so I think that this was a great piece by Julie and a funny take on the prompt. I thought it was clever. Let me put it that way. It's a clever take on the prompt. So,
I
yeah.
have to agree. I absolutely have to agree. I was thinking very similar thoughts. Like there's a certain bite and irony in this, and it does have a kind of it has that clever approach, and there is a bitter humor to it. But and this message on you know people putting expectations on women and then putting the burden on them when things don't go as planned. Like she tells Julie does a wonderful job of telling this story about a father who has expectations for his daughters, and because they don't meet those expectations, because they go out and they find a man but not in the way that he wanted. All of a sudden it becomes about the disappointment, and I think this actually makes a really strong commentary on society. So excellent, right, and very well done.
hmm Careful what you wish for. Okay.
Yep,
Pam,
exactly.
Pam, I'm coming back to you. This is called Wages Paid in Salt by T. Manzano. And whenever you're ready.
All right. All right. Getting back to where I need to be. And oops, I clicked on the wrong link. Let me try this again. All right. Women bend to tide like question marks the sea never answers, a hand shading eyes against a horizon crowded with ships that aren't hers, cargo she'll never itemize, sails the color of someone else's good fortune. Some of them kneel in the wet sand, scrubbing at hulls, at linens, at whatever the day handed them to make clean, while the water keeps its appointment with the shore, indifferent. That's the honest part. Labor doesn't pose for its portrait. It just keeps its back turned and gets on with it. Boats beached like tired animals, ochre mud recording every step that will be gone by the next tide, same as the rest of us. Somewhere out past the buoys, a bigger boat is sailing off with the light gilded, unbothered, already forgetting this beach exists. End poem. And what an absolutely amazing write by T. Manzano. And I see we have Gray Eyes joining us. Hello, Gray. How's it going?
Pam, how are you?
Yeah.
Oh, doing awesome. Good
That's
to have
good.
you join us.
You too. You too.
Um,
Hi, Phil.
Hi, honey.
How are you?
Hi, Gray.
Good.
Hi, Naomi. Woo woo. There's a whole gang here, eh? Just me and a bunch of
Yeah.
chicks.
That's right.
Nice.
there you
Nice.
and and Naomi, your thoughts on this, right?
I've grown to like this poet very much, T. Manzano. The way he writes. It's really something, a thing of beauty, really. Women bend to tide like question marks the sea never answers. They're there. Um, they're working. They work hard every day. We feel that. Boats, beach like tired animals, ochre mud, recording every footstep that will be gone by the next tide, same as the rest of us. Um, it's a life that I grew up in. The fishermen, the boats leaving the dock, the women, working hard, uh, but staying behind often. Um, well, almost always, when I was young, anyway, and and then the work of a fisherman and is what and the women, it's never over. It's never finished. It's always there. It always goes on, and it's hard work. And yeah, so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful right by Timanzano.
Oh, I have to agree. I have to agree. Great comment there, Naomi. And Jean, your thoughts.
I thought this was an excellent piece penned by Tim. Great imagery and very well expressed. I thought there were a lot of wonderful lines throughout. I have to say, I did pick it. I did pick it up here. A hand shading eyes against a horizon, crowded with ships that aren't hers. Cargo she'll never itemize. Sails the color of somebody else's good fortune. Some of them kneel in the wet sand, scrubbing at hulls, at linens, at whatever the day handed them to make clean, while the water keeps its appointment with the shore, indifferent. That's the honest part. Labor doesn't pose for its portrait, it just keeps its back turned and gets on with it. I thought that was pretty honest, in its totality. So very well done, and thanks for sharing with us, Tim. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. Great comment. And Gray, your thoughts.
Yeah, I thought it was a beautiful first person narrative on a harbor scene. The work that goes on, un, uncelebrated, just existing and doing their thing. Um, the ships are full of men going out to sea, and the women are there left on shore, praying for their survival and their arrival back home. So I thought it was beautifully penned and nicely read, ma'am.
Thank you. And great comment there, Gray. Yeah, I thought this had wonderful imagery and metaphors. I really like how he speaks on the idea of people who work hard um, for sadly for the benefit of other people. Like they're not going to reap the rewards that the powerful and the rich do. I also like how he writes about the idea that life carries on, like it doesn't stop for artists, it doesn't stop for photographers. And this is what that painting captures. Like, this is not a painting where somebody is posing. This is a painting where the artist saw a scene of women working um, on the seashore and just, you know, either held that in his memory or just stood there, and, took it all in and realized that this is the true raw honesty of life, that it does carry on and there is work to be done. And I thought, that was particularly amazing lines. That's the honest part. Labor doesn't pose for its portrait, it just keeps its back turned and gets on with it. Wonderful lines and very well done by T. Manzano.
Nice. Okay. Well, for my next magic trick, I'm going to put a piece up for Gray to read, and I'm going to step away for a minute or two, Pam. This is called Old
Okay.
London by Ermintrude 5. So, Gray, whenever you're ready.
Okay, okay. 1 second here. Do 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 do. Come on, load, load. There we go. All right. So Ermintrude 5 brings us Old London. A scene of old London. Sorry, a scene of London in days gone by. All around there's a cold, grey sky, and the morning mist hangs over the city as if to hide this scene so pretty. And in the distance, a dome so tall, designed by Wren, its name, St. Paul, while on the Thames, heading down river, a tug with barges, their load to deliver. This was the scene from long ago, a quiet life, a steady flow of people going on their way to work to do their daily chore. But sadly, this is not no more, for London is now a busy city with a hustle of people. What a pity. All going here and going there. They haven't got the time to spare. Now this is what's become of the city. Nobody has the time. Again, what a pity. And the author's notes say, a scene on the Thames as I remember it when I was young. And I would like to thank Pal Fried for giving me the inspiration to write a poem on this picture.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that he shared that little tidbit of information with us in the AN. And great read there, Gray. And your thoughts, Naomi?
Yeah, first of all, I love that art piece. You know, you see the little tugboat out there I think it's a tugboat. Yeah, tugboat out there in the front there, and pulling in those larger ships. Um, so yeah, I think he captured a piece of history in this poem here so brilliantly. That a time where everything was slowed down and was more quiet. And now today, well, you don't slow down anymore. The little tugboat. I don't even know if those exist anymore. So yeah, everything is going fast, like he says. Everything is sped up. Makes me think of Mountie G's "The Bustle and the Hustle." There, the poem we read earlier. Um, yeah, I like this how in so few words, because it's not very long, he did capture this feeling, this nostalgia, in so strongly in this piece. So brilliantly well done.
Oh, absolutely. I have to agree. Wonderful comment, Naomi. And Gray, your thoughts?
I was just reading about the author, and it says he started writing poetry at 80 years old when he decided to write his eulogy. So that's incredible, really. Um, I question, him being young enough to remember the old days, and he certainly is. Um, it's I don't know. I liked it. It really sets the scene, puts you there to witness the growth of the city, and this scene so pretty and a hustle of people. What a pity. It really the contrast itself throughout time, and so Ermintrude 5, great job, nicely done.
Oh, absolutely. Great comment, Gray. Yeah, I really like the rhyme and flow in this and the imagery. I like how he really creates an atmosphere. I think it's really cool that his attention to details, bringing in the river Thames and the tugboat, and just really painting a picture with his words. I mean, like you can see the inspiration um, from the artwork, and yet at the same time, this is a poem that would definitely stand well on its own. Um, and I thought there were great lines throughout, but I did especially like a quiet life, a steady flow of people going on their way to work to do their daily chore. But sadly, this is not no more. And he takes us into the thought of changing times. So wonderful, right? And very well done. And are you back with us, Jean?
I am. I was
All right.
trying to create a comment, but I think I'm going to have to just leave this one in writing because it's not quite finished. So,
I get that.
um, okay, give me 2 seconds. This one I have is the next piece, and this is Naomi's turn. I think. I'm pretty sure. Okay, Naomi, this next piece is called. It is called, I said. Yes, I said it is called. Ah, wait, I have to get back over there. Rendered Confection by Moss and Memory. And whenever you're ready.
Okay. Okay. Rendered Confection by Moss and Memory. Made in the image of the artist's hand, Epicurean imagination, composing appetite's desire, an eye that feasts before it looks, caught in its own reflection, where hunger hovers at the surface and famine is obscured in feathers and lace. Cultivated palates, replicated bodies, learning to crave what costs them most. One face folded into another, answering to a form lacking substance, followed by a steady gaze, a palate mixed with from want, consumed in ravenous longing, insatiable yearning to be taken in by the stare of approval, likeness rendered into confection, replicated bodies, the feasts admiring their own decay and poem.
Great read, Naomi. And what an amazing write by Moss and Memory. And your thoughts, Gray? Gotta unmute, Gray.
Yeah, that always helps, right?
Hi, Gray.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, I thought it was an excellent statement on modern society and the need to um, see yourself and to see yourself reflected in others' eyes, how other people view you. You know, well, like the popularity machine that is the internet is always nonstop, consumed in ravenous longing, insatiable yearning to be taken in by the stare of approval, likeness rendered in confection, replicated bodies, the feast admiring their own decay. I thought it was fantastic, really. It's just so much said in um, a non-linear way, I like the way it curves and twists. So
Yeah.
nicely done.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And great observations there. And Jean, your thoughts?
Well, I think that Moss and Memory did a great job. I liked her take on the prompt. Definitely different than the last one, but that's what makes it so much fun. I thought her thoughts were well expressed, and I picked it up right from the beginning because I like how she went right in with the artist, made in the image of the artist's hand, Epicurean imagination composing appetite's desire, an eye that feasts before it looks, caught in its own reflection, where hunger hovers at the surface. and famine is obscured in feather and lace. I thought that the imagery in that was great right from the beginning, and it really drew you into the rest of the poem. So wonderful job, Moss and Memory, and thank you for sharing with us tonight. Really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Great comment. And your thoughts, Naomi?
Yeah, it's very profound and in so few words. What is 98 words? Very profound message on society and like Gray, I guess, was saying, the wanting to please, the wanting to be seen. Yeah, yeah, and then it leaves you with a final message: the feast admiring their own decay. That is very, very powerful statement to leave us on for sure. Yeah, very well done. Moss and Memory, a new name to me, and quite a few tonight.
See that?
Nice. It's always great to be able to discover new names. Great comment, Naomi. Yeah, she Moss in Memory, very talented poetess. I love the imagery and metaphors in this. I like how she does connect the art and the artist, and how they are oftentimes a reflection of each other. I also like how she does make that commentary on a society that is decaying, because we are so focused on wanting to get admiration. And I thought there were strong lines throughout, but I did especially like the second and third stanza. So excellent, right? And very well done.
Hmm. Absolutely. Okay. Great comments, everybody. This next piece I'm going to put up is called "Watered Down Ways" by Mermaid. And let me see if I can make this big enough to read. We we portioned off those pretentious bouquets, a frivolous find in the spring of too late. Their curriculums of new days persisted, hiccuping breakfast scrambled nuances. A slice of Marmite toast, vitamin existence, up before we go down on a plaid nightgown. Unprompted songs pop up on twisted speakers. We haven't played for ages, on stereo forays. As dishwashers microwave their stains, and Bible readings proclaim new days, cat dishes filled with arrogant flippancy, bottling excuses in watered down ways. Changes claim the vows I have named, and supped sojourn to begin my journey within, floating over the middle of a restful zest. I smile in flames, starting all over again. End poem.
Wonderful read, Jean, and what a beautiful write by Mermaid. And your thoughts, Naomi?
Oh, there's just something about this poem that she captivates she captures that artwork so well. The unprompted songs pop up on twisted speakers. The mermaid toast vitamin existence, stereo forays, and then she has hiccuping breakfast scrambled nuances. I really love the way she plays with words. It's really neat. And then, and that third stanza, the Bible readings, the cat dishes filled with arrogant flippancy, bottling excuses in watered down ways. Just amazing. It's really took me all over the place, even to a bride. I don't know why a bride on her way to either a fiance there or something, on the way to the wedding, or I don't know. It took me in different directions. So, but I think she captured that artwork so well, and I love the way she played with words and in her phrasing. So very well done, Mermaid.
Oh,
Beautiful poem.
absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment, Naomi. And your thoughts, Gray?
The unmuted kind.
Yeah, sorry. But no, I like the way her use of language here. The way she twists things and tweaks things, putting them together in such a non non linear way, another curved, right? Really, because you're always going around the bend, and who knows what's around the bend until you get there. But as dishwashers microwave their stains, stuck out to me a lot, really. And then Bible readings proclaim new days. Cat dishes filled with arrogant flippancy, bottling excuses in watered down ways. I don't know. There's just something about the use of her language that is beautiful and twisted, which I like. It's a very twisted Tuesday type, right?
It is, isn't it? Yes, absolutely. I have to agree. Great comment. Yeah, this has wonderful imagery and metaphors, clever lines. It's got this energy, this vibrancy to it that I really appreciate. And I feel like it speaks on the idea that the journey of life doesn't always go as planned, but as that end line says, I smile in flames starting all over again. Sometimes you just have to smile and start over again and choose to go in a new direction. Wonderful, right? And very well done by Mermaid. And Jean, back to you.
Okie dokie. Let me see now. The next piece I have to put up is called My Big Scene by Ima Rima. And Pam, you're next in line. So
Okie dokie, Smoky.
let me find my way back. Oh no,
That's what
everybody.
I feel like I'm constantly doing, is
Yeah,
finding my way back.
I'm telling you. Isn't that a song line from something? I
If not,
always
it
think
should
about
be.
that. Yeah, right. Maybe we can get someone to write that up for us. Okay, Pam,
There
whenever
you
you're
go.
ready, it is up.
Uh, all right. One of thousands of extras, am picking. I am picked for this scene as the one being chased by the cowboy guy. He on his horse and me all run. The best an extra could have hoped. A lariat loop swinging round. Its purpose is that I get roped as a stray maverick on the bound. Of course, I know the script calls for me getting caught and branded bee. So my scene stealing all the more brings out the acting steer in me. No speaking part, but I take pride in my action scene in rawhide. End
Oh,
poem. If I didn't know better, Gene, I would have thought you purposely assigned me the poem that's written in the voice of the cow.
I did not. I did not even know.
I know.
You see that? Oh my God.
But what
That
I
is
knew you were just following down and that I was the next reader, but I thought, oh, because I had read this poem before, and I thought, oh, how funny that Jean gave me this one.
oh my God. No, that is funny. I had no idea that that's even what the voice was in this. Hadn't even looked at it. That's
Oh
funny.
my gosh, too funny.
You
And
probably
Gray, your thoughts?
Well, you did a beautiful read of it, Pam. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. This cow knows its purpose, understands its role, and is describing it to a T. No speaking part, but I take pride in my action scene in raw. I can hear the music playing too.
rawhide.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Isn't that
absolutely. I
Johnny
think that's every
Cash?
single one of us. Great comment, Gray. And
Yeah.
your thoughts, Naomi?
Yeah, I really liked the where she came from. I'm a rhymer, taking the writing the poem in the cow's voice, and then you, Pam, getting to read it, which was really neat. But yeah, one of the thousands of extras, yeah. So she's, like really like in the middle of a movie here, one of those extras that they choose for just, the background. And yeah, I liked it all the way through. It made me smile. That's what it did. Give me a great big smile. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have to agree. Great comment, Naomi. Yeah, this was such a fun and clever write, written in the voice of the steer. I love her ending couplet, which of course immediately you get the song "Rawhide" going through your head. But I really like the idea of this maverick steer. Being so proud of his big action scene in the movie. So wonderful, clever write by Ima Rima, and very well done.
That is just too funny, though. Great, great, just too funny. I can't do these things. If I were to try, I couldn't pull them off. Just saying. Oh God. Okay. Well, for our final piece for tonight, this is called "Titanic Dance Floors" by Alka F. And I have an audio for this one. So let me go and find the button. Here we go.
It wasn't there, right? Never happened, of course. They've planted that lie on the way to the horizon. Ginger beady, nope. Scottish boots, nah. Hopping around like crazy. Headless chickens, well, perhaps, yes. Eventually they had to, right? But how should I know? Wasn't there too, right? Right? After midnight, chaos runners, fighters, couldn't find my socks. What was that melody? Ah, yes, the crazy Irish jumpers. Everybody singing, shouting, trying hard to stay on feet. After all, couple of pints were dancing too, right? Iceberg bitch, itching back, I had to first. Scratching, singing badly though, never taking proper lessons. Hugging hard to kill, to build, to chill. Sweaty, icing, catching our breath. Too cold for that, only playing dead, pretending. Just tired, nothing else. From the flakes of gently little fear.
Wonderful audio. Thank you so much, Olga. It is very much appreciated. And Gray, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a lovely song. I liked it a lot. The whole atmosphere is, I don't know, I think it's, to me, it's describing the happenings of the Titanic hitting the iceberg, because iceberg bitch itching back of heads At first scratching, singing badly though, never taken proper lessons, hugging hard, to kill, to build, to chill, dancing, sweaty, icing, catching, not breath too cold for that, only playing dead, pretending, just tired, nothing else, from the flakes of gently little fear. Yeah, I liked it. It was an interesting write. Have to check him out some more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment, Gray. And your thoughts, Naomi?
Yeah, I remember, I remember the movie Titanic, and when I don't remember the names of the persons people there, but when the girl goes to with the Irish down there, and they're dancing, and there's this scene, and if you look at the artwork, I can see how he was inspired. This poet was inspired by the by the I have to get back to the poem now. Where is it? Okay, yeah. Well, the how the poet was inspired by that scene of the Titanic, and I really like Ginger Booti. Nope, Scottish boots, nah. Hopping round like crazy headless chickens. Well, perhaps, yes. Eventually they had to, right? So he has this scene of music and the scene of dancing, and then, the iceberg coming up. And they had to get ready, but that's not what happened. They were struck down, and yeah, most of them, they died. But yeah, I like how he used where the inspiration came from, and the way the sound cloud played out in the song was really, really neat. So yeah, bravo! I really enjoyed it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment. Yeah, I have to agree. The funny thing is I found this artwork very appealing, but until I read this right, I totally did. All of a sudden, it was like, oh my gosh, yeah, this does look like the dance scene um, from Titanic. And it actually then started making me think about the musical, which got turned into a movie, The Unsinkable Molly Brown, which is another show, or not show, but movie about the Titanic, but it focuses on the American heiress, Molly Brown, who is definitely an interesting character. I thought this had strong visceral imagery, a great sense of movement. It's has that chaos and energy to it that works really well with the artwork. And I thought there were just clever wordplay throughout. I like the mention of the crazy headless chickens. Well, perhaps yes, eventually they had to, right? But how should I know? Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just kind of fun and clever. So I enjoyed it. Very well done. This has been a fabulous night of poetry. Thank you so much, Fill My Eyes and Naomi, for being my twisted sisters. And Gray, thank you for calling in and being our twisted mister for the night. Thank you to Robbie, Yumpy, Cedar, Jojo, and all our other listeners. And of course, thank you to everybody who is listening now, will be listening later. You're all truly appreciated. Thank you to everyone who provided rights for the show. Please make sure to keep an eye out on the contests and topic boards put up by our late night poets, hosts, and hostesses, because you're sure to find something to inspire. And in about a half hour, you can join Aphasiana and myself for part sinner, part saint. And Jean, is there anything you'd like to say in closing?
Great show, Pam. Wonderful prompts. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Gray. Thanks to everyone who listened in and hung out. Hope everyone enjoyed the show. And yes, have fun enjoying Parts In or Parts Ain't. I think I'm going back to Dreamland.
I just wanted to say it was really nice to hear you, Naomi. Not that I don't love the other ladies,
Ah,
but you're special. You know, you've got that accent that
You're
is so
special.
Oh,
charming.
absolutely.
Yeah,
thank
Pam.
you, Gray.
We're
Who
okay, Pam,
else?
but she's special. How about that, Gray?
It is
You
Who
absolutely
know,
has
wonderful.
who has
the,
art of seduction tomorrow?
You do.
I do.
You, yeah.
Okay.
Guys,
Um, tomorrow, me and Gray have it, but of course, we'd love to have you join us, Naomi. I
Okay.
do have a topic board and a contest up. So,
Yeah, I already wrote for the contest, but I
oh,
didn't see the date.
wonderful.
So well, if you only have one up for art of seduction, it's that one I wrote for, but yeah, so yeah, I'll
we
probably be joining you tomorrow.
nice, very
awesome. Look
nice.
forward to
All
hearing
right.
it.
Well, we look forward to it. And
Okay.
have a wonderful night, everyone.
Night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody. Much love.
Good night.
Night.
Good
Much love.
night.
Oh my goodness.